All right, so welcome to today's event. Um, I'll be speaking on how to become a product manager. I'm sure most of you here want to be a product manager. I'm guessing why I'm guessing that's why you registered for this event, or why you are coming in for this event. So while we're waiting for the rest of um the audience to join us, if you're a product manager here, just raise your hand. If you're a product manager, just let me see your hands. Okay. So we only have one product manager among us. That's cool. All right, so let's just dive right into it. You'll be seeing most of my face throughout this class, and I'll try my best to make sure that everyone is familiar with what I'll be teaching from uh or what I'll be teaching. I'll try to break down the basics of what I'll be saying. And secondly, this event this class is basically coming from our it's coming from our paid course. Yeah, paid course. That's the ILTA product management course. Okay. So that's basically where we are extracting some of this content from. Okay. So first of all, let's talk about who a product manager is, right? All right, so a product manager is someone that is, someone that defines the strategy of a product. You understand? So a product as it is something that people sell, okay? An item, a service, or whatsoever that someone is offering to solve people's needs. You understand? So it could be software, it could even be an item, okay? It could be a service, it could be anything, right? So people want to use something, people need it just to solve their problems. And for that to happen, you need somebody to actually create a product that will help them to achieve it. So if you look at it, you have WhatsApp. WhatsApp, for example, is a product because obviously we want to connect with all our friends. We want to be able to chat them up without having to use our text messages and like we want to really have a long conversation with them through chatting. So that is a problem. That is something that people need. And then we now have some certain individual like the Mark Zuckerberg and the likes. They went ahead to, create a product that is going to solve that particular problem for us. That's basically what product is. Now, who is a product manager? Again, a product manager is a person that comes up with a strategy, right? The roadmap and the features that's going to keep that product alive. You understand? A product manager is someone that is actually in charge of the success of that product. So WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, somebody is actually in charge of making sure that whatever the plan is, right? Um, they are going to be, they have to make sure that it becomes successful. You understand? So the plan, or let's say 5 years ago or 10 years ago, right? Someone like Mark Zuckerberg says something like he wants to make sure that this particular product, what determines is success is that it needs to attain 1 billion users. And so that means 1 billion people have to use that product. That is the type of success that a product manager looks forward to. And somebody has to be in charge of making sure that whatever they need to do to make sure that they attain that goal, okay, then they need to put it in place. You understand? So you see that they need to put stickers, they need to make sure that it's interactive, very interactive. They need to use emojis, or they need to put in voice notes, or they need to create a feature called status, or they need to create a status called groups. You understand? So all those features are what a product manager will recommend that will not make the product development team to, to work towards it so that they can attain that 1 billion users that, probably their CEOs as stated from the beginning of the year or something like that. So I hope you understand what a product manager is. So if you want to become a product manager, one of the first things you need to know, you need to understand that for your product to be successful, okay, for you to be very, very good at your job, right? You need to actually bring up things, you understand, concepts, okay? You need to recommend features that will make a product scale from wherever it is to where you guys want it to reach. So let's use a typical social media application, right? All these new features you see on social media are being recommended by a product manager. Some of them are there are basically some features that they are in plan. They are basically planning to, to build. Maybe in the next 2 years, we'll see something like maybe you can start using VR on Twitter. Maybe all those things are in plan, but now is not the night. Now building it now is not the right time. Okay, and the reason why they have that kind of priority is because there's a product manager in charge of some of these things. You understand? So look at things, right? If you look at every product out there, why did they release it at so period of time? There's a product manager that makes sure that, this is when we should release this thing. So I'm going to be giving you guys more context to what a product manager, what they do. I'm also a product manager. I actually started my product manager career, 3 years ago. And I've been managing so many other products, even on a consultant base. Okay. But we have a lot of things to discuss today. And this class is going to be in different series. So what I mean by series is that it's still one class, but we'll have to be rejoining for the rest of the event. You understand? So this is going to be like the part one of it. All right. So I've defined what a product is, and I've defined who a product manager is, right? So today we'll be talking about the types of product managers. Okay. So now if you look at every product that you see out there, okay, there are so many features that only one person cannot entirely be in charge of. So if you look at Twitter, for example, we have Twitter Space, we have messaging, we have the tweets, we have the algorithm, okay, that recommends tweets. We have the For You, we have the profile setup, okay, we have Twitter for Business, we have the verification, just so many of those features. Now, you will not believe that for each of those features, there's somebody in charge of making sure that they are successful. For example, Elon Musk must have, put somebody in charge of verification. So the goal they will give that kind of person is that, see, just 10,000 people are verified. You understand? Now we want to monetize it. Okay. Your success rate is that between today or between this month and June, okay, 30,000 people must start using verification. 30,000 people must pay for verification. That's basically a job in the company. You understand? And if you look at the amount they will pay her as a product manager between now and June, let's say in salaries, maybe they pay her like 500,000 naira in salaries. And between June and now, she needs to attain 30,000 followers or 30,000 users to start using the verification. In a way, by the time you look at the money that they convert, okay, it's more like I am paying this person 500,000 naira to get me, in 3 times in a year, or between now and June, let's say that's 1.2 million naira. Okay. And by the time 30,000 gets verified, I'll be earning close to about 10 million naira. Something like that. That's the concept of why people hire product managers, you understand? So when they give that kind of manager that particular goal, she now has to go home and start thinking about how she can make verification process better, how she can make it enticing, how she can make it interesting, okay, how she can make everybody feel like they need to do it. She needs to start creating concepts. She needs to start talking to she needs to go and consult the marketing team that please let me market this thing. People need to get verified. People need to people need to, it has to be so enticing so that I can achieve this particular goal. So if you look at it now, okay, and you want to become a product manager as a person, you must be the kind of person that the strategy for you to attain a certain result, you have it. Okay, it's not a small, it's not a joke. It's a very, very big responsibility because they have to look at you and they have to gain a certain they have to gain some sort of profit, okay, from the features that you are in charge of. That's the business of product management. You understand? So WhatsApp, for example, if WhatsApp story, okay, or WhatsApp status, we improve the numbers of WhatsApp business, okay, or WhatsApp as an application. You understand? If it will improve it, then they will start building for it. And there's going to be a product manager that needs to actually maintain that, that feature so that it keeps getting better and start getting better and start getting. I'm sure most of you must have noticed that if you are watching WhatsApp at the moment for the past 1 week or 2 weeks now, if you click on next, the overlapping sound of the former story that you watched should be reflecting on the new one. That's the fault of a product manager. I don't know, maybe the person is not there anymore or something. I don't know what's going on. But the obvious, people must have done some sort of like complaint, okay, of that particular feature, that particular problem. And the product manager in charge of it, we take that feedback. I'm going to meet the engineering team and tell them that, hello, my users or people have been complaining that this feature, this particular feature that I own is having a problem. Please kindly fix it. Understand? So basically, that is the job of a product manager. So we're talking about the types of product managers, okay? And the first type is the internal PM. So I'll be sharing my screen so that you can, you can understand some of these things one after the other, okay? So just give me a minute. All right, please go ahead.
Okay, good evening. Thank you so much, Adiwali. Based on the roles you just highlighted of a product manager, my question is, for a startup, something that's just coming up newly, would you advise the founders kind of merging their roles with that of a product manager instead of creating a separate role for this?
Okay, thank you. So a couple of years ago, people don't really, they don't really care. Okay, they don't care about the product manager role because obviously a CEO should be able to do that or the founder should be able to do that. They don't entirely have to, of course, they know the product a lot. That's why they're building it. And they don't need somebody in charge of it. Now, the difference between what a founder would have done if he's taking up the role of a product manager is that it will be too business oriented. So what that means is that it is what is going to make him money that will be prioritizing. But the essence of a product manager is kind of to bridge the gap, basically to hear from the users, you understand? So somebody should actually go out there to keep on asking for feedback, okay? And that feedback, we put the plan, basically we help them to prioritize what next they should build, understand? So for a startup, it depends. If the co-founder, or the founder, if the founder is a product person, or he has been a product manager from where he's coming from, understand? Maybe he has the experience of it. It might not see it entirely important to get a product manager. For example, at Elta, because I'm a product manager by default, okay, I have a product I'm building, so I don't need a product manager. I can do my thing myself. But then I basically work for about 2 startups that they hired me as a product manager. Do you know why? Because both of them are just they are businessmen. Okay, they are into straight crypto. They do trading. Okay, but now they want to have a product, they want to build an application. So that's to actually look for somebody that can write PRDs, can write OKRs, can design roadmaps. There are so many things that product manager does that a regular person doesn't know because it's not their expertise. So a product manager should be able to do architecture, user flow, user profiling. You should be able to do some sort of like survey. I know some applications that a regular person might not know, like the Oja, Google Analytics, all those things, because a product manager actually has here in every department. There's a big chance that a product manager must have a bit of experience in marketing, has a bit of experience in sales, have a bit of experience in branding. And so there's a big chance that a regular person, a regular CEO might not know all these things. Okay, the person is just coming, the person just have the cash or have the idea. Understand? Now, a product manager is not the one bringing up the idea. He's not the initiator of the idea. You understand? He's not the idea guy. Okay, he collects the idea. CEO, what do you want? Marketing, what do you want? Or any other stakeholder, investors, what do you guys want? He now piles it up and we help them to prioritize it based on the resource that is available. Understand? The engineers that are in charge, the engineers that are building a product at the moment or an application, probably the best thing they need to build and go to market with is just maybe buying of airtime. But the original goal of the application is fintech. So they don't just push things like, and just start building everything at once. So because of the experience of the product manager and how he knows the market, we tell them the first thing they should start with. Like, for example, Kuda Bank, they started with, let's remove transfer fees. Okay, let's make it free. You understand? Let's just do Kuda. Some people, they just started with Kuda to Kuda. Some people start, let's just do username to username. Okay, then later they start introducing things like bills, payments, all those things. I'm sure it's not their founder that is doing that. You understand? Because he has other business to deal with. He has to deal with investors. He's the chief marketer of the product. He has to look for, there are so many other business to do. Okay. So that's the job of a product manager. So if you are familiar with it, you don't entirely need to get a product manager. But if you don't know anything about the market, but you see opportunity in it, you need somebody to, to assist you in managing the product. I hope I answered your question. All right, Jacob.
Good evening, boss.
Good evening.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. You made mention of some things the other time about the role of a product manager, creating bridge between the user side of the product and the business side. So my question is, are there similarities between the role of a product designer and a product manager, putting into consideration the difference between the job of a UI UX designer and a product designer? I don't know if you get my point. So
a product manager is in charge of a product team, a product development team. So just imagine your client. Your client comes to you and tell you, okay, let's go through that route. A client comes to you and tell you, I want to build an app. You understand? And I have everything designed initially. Okay, I have everything designed. Somebody have designed it for me. Okay, and I have this developer that has also done the job. They've done it, but we still have a lot of issues. We've not been able to launch for the past 6 months that I've been building it, or for the past 1 year. And they come to you, I had a product manager, and he said yes. So a product manager's job is to make sure that that app gets launched. That's a significant difference of what a product manager does. So it's not that the design is a blocker, okay? It's not that the engineering is a blocker. It's just that something is stopping them from going live. They don't know what it is. Something just feels very wrong. You understand? They're not sure about the app. and they started looking for who is going to help them, like, push things forward and, take it live, take it to the users. Understand? So that's actually the differences between those two. A product designer, his own job is to take in requirements, okay, take in flows, not entirely the flow, but the idea, what they are trying to achieve, the user story. You understand? The product manager comes and tell you, you know what, I'm coming from Mr. Gbolan, the client, and he says that he wants an app that people can listen to music through it or on it. You understand? So can you remove that first two screens, that onboarding flow? I don't want it. Okay, you've done a very beautiful job, but it's not going to help us here. I want people to be able to just start listening to music. Then later on, when they want to do some other things, they will now tell them to sign up. And that's because they want to eliminate, the whole code of trying to get people to onboard and all that. This is also go directly like that. They want to just go live like that. So it's a product manager that will bring that type of idea to you. So designer what it does is to do the design, you understand? But the making sure that application, when it goes live or before it goes live, it doesn't crash or it does not die. Okay, or make sure that it keeps it alive. That's the job of a product manager. There's a big chance that a product designer will just design and that's the end of it. The business part of it, it doesn't really know what's going on. The features that they are going to build in the next 3 years, it doesn't really know much about that. Okay, design is one-time thing. That's why even to date, if you hire if you get a job in a company whereby you're the product designer, there's a big chance that for the next, maybe after they've launched, for like 3 months or 2 months or even a month, you might not be doing anything. Okay, because the phase they are now is like post-launch. So they'll be doing a lot of like iterations with the engineering team. They might not even call you to the meeting at all. And that's basically who a product manager is. A product manager basically is in charge of keeping the product alive and hearing feedback. You won't be the one to be hearing the feedback. Okay, as a product designer, you won't be hearing feedback from users. You don't have any business with that, with them. The people that you'll be hearing the feedback from, the people you'll be getting instructions from will be either the CEO or the product manager, something like that. You understand? So if they want to build the next iteration, they'll call on to you. You understand? You design it. Your own is just basically to turn the vision or the user story into mockups or UI interface. So it's different skill. Okay, one of you is asking questions about what the user wants. And the other person, who is the product designer, is designing what the product manager says you should design. Something like that. I hope that is clear. I don't know if that is clear. So somebody else is asking me a question. I don't know. I want to believe everyone is good to go. Jacob, I hope I've answered you. Just type so that I can know that I can move on. Okay, so all right, so if that's the case, please let's take our time. If you still want to ask me anything, feel free to ask. I'm available to listen to everything you want to know about product management, and I'll try and make sure that you see the importance of it. And there are some companies that they don't actually have product managers. You can actually start applying and tell them that, okay, this is what I'll be doing for you guys. Break it down to them and make them realize that they need it. Okay, and when you break it out to them, they can actually bring you in to be an interim. You understand? So I don't know. I don't want to use a football, for example. A product manager is like the coach. You understand? So it's like Lampard, it's like Klopp, it's like how would I put Pep Guardiola? That's the job of a product manager. But Todd Bailey or who else own a club? That's CEO. That's the basic example I can give you. Okay, and the designers and the engineers are the players. So Graham Potter, God forbid, that God will not allow that kind of person be your product manager, because your product is going to crash. All right, so let's join again, because I can see that I have just 2 minutes left for this class. And in the next class, I'll be talking about the types of product managers, so that you can decide, I like this type of product managers. Maybe I should start my career this way, because there are actually 3 types. It's not everybody that is just a product manager just for whatever it's called. We have 3 types of product managers. Maybe when you understand the differences between the 3, you can now pick the one you would like to start with, or you feel like you are very confident in. So please, I'm seeing 52 people. I want you guys to join this same link again. And that will be the part 2 of this section. Okay, we have 3 parts to talk about today. So we've talked about part 1, identifying what a product manager is, what a product is, and the job of a product manager. And the second one, we'll be talking specifically the types of product managers. And the third one, we'll be talking about the differences between the product manager and a project manager. So you don't want to really miss any of those 3. Okay, so let's join again, and I'll see you in 1 minute. Thanks.